this is just a mini clip of me actually studying on a Sunday. Yes, guys, on a Sunday. You gotta sacrifice your time to get the CIA, hey? So in this video, I'm practically just going to be taking you guys through some of the CIA study tips that I think worked for me since I wrote part 1 twice and actually succeeded the second time around. So yeah, I just had my water here, a couple of snacks, and then I was practicing some questions and just reading. So yeah, let's do this. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching me for the first time, I go by the name of Gift Somakwabe, also known as Soma K. And yeah guys, thank you once again for taking the time to watch this video. As you know, standard procedure, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. If you have any questions after this video, please do throw in your questions and I'll get to them as soon as I can. So this video was requested immediately after I had posted that I passed CIA part 1. So a couple of you are probably writing or want to write or pursue this certification, and I did say that I'll bring in a breakdown. So this part of the video is just basically CIA study tips, and in the next video I will be touching on Wood Institute and how that had an impact in my studies and the result of my exam. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so you guys know that I failed the first attempt on CIA part 1 in June 2022, and I rewrote last year, December 2023, and around the 19th of December. So obviously I feel that for somebody that has written the exam twice, I actually learned from my mistakes and sort of found ways to improve my studying in whatever it is that I was lacking in order for me to actually pass the exam. So the first thing I want to talk about is mentally preparing yourself for the journey. Personally, I think I didn't prepare myself to that extent. I was not in a good space already due to personal reasons, but whether you have stuff going on with family or whatever, but you need to mentally tell yourself that you're starting this thing and you're ready for it. And it should not be something like you wake up today and you're like, tomorrow I'm starting. No, you need to literally tell yourself that in the next month or so I would like to start studying. So you start preparing yourself mentally, because this journey is exhausting. It comes with a lot of sacrifices, and this means your time, your weekends, your friends, your family. You sort of like isolate yourself a bit so that you can actually focus on this thing. You know, so mentally prepare yourself, tell yourself that you're going to do this thing, and start setting like a deadline or timeline of when you actually want to start pursuing. And then the second thing is creating an environment and a routine for you to study. This includes your study timetable. So what I mean by this is, for example, I know that I want to study in a quiet place. I don't want to be really at home most of the time, whereas that's my place of rest, my place of relaxation and sleep. So you could look into being at a library, you could look into being at the office over the weekends or office after working hours. So around those things, that's what you could look at. So create that environment, create a routine. Are you somebody that's going to wake up 4 in the morning and study 2 hours in the morning and another 2 hours in the evening? Or are you somebody that's going to study late in the evenings after work, or whatever it is, whatever your circumstances are? But for me, I believe that I'm flexible with both. So I'd be very comfortable to study either in the morning or in the evening and over the weekend. So create that routine and have a timetable as to when you're going to study certain topics and how you're going to go about it. So what I didn't do the first part is I didn't really have a timetable. I was just cruising. This time around, I knew that almost every day I'd be doing this certain topic and covering this amount of questions. And if you actually put time into this, you'll realize that you can cover a lot of your content if you actually have a direction. So yeah. And then number 3 is obviously obtaining the study material and start familiarizing yourself with the content. So this is like, you can start watching a bit of YouTube videos just to get an idea of what you're getting yourself into. You can start looking at the type of questions they might ask, start asking people about their experiences on this CIA. Look at your textbook and the type of material. Most of the information actually also comes from your BCom honors in internal auditing degree, because part 1 literally touches on that as well, and going forward with part 2 and so forth. So yeah, familiarize yourself with the information that you need to retain in order for you to pass. And then study tip number 5 is look for a study technique, guys. This is very, very important, because there's been so many cases where you will speak to me and I will tell you that I did so many questions, and you think that's the best approach for you. You'll go to someone else and they'll tell you, I just read the textbook once and I was fine. Someone else will tell you, I only watched videos and listened to audios. So you need to really have a study technique. There are 4 different types of study techniques. There are people who are visual. They need to see the information in order to retain it. There are people who are auditory, so they need to hear it in order for them to actually understand the information. Then there are people who read and write, where you need to read it and then you need to write it, summarize it on your own, highlight and put colors, which is one of the things I do in order for you to understand what you're reading. And then the other one is the I think it's kinet. I don't know how to say it properly. Kinetistic something. But this is basically people that need to touch or do a physical activity. This is a bit difficult for CIA because you need to read the material. But for part 2, where you basically doing this work every day, it kind of makes it easier to know what you're learning and understanding it. So you need to pick up out of those techniques which ones are applicable to you. You might be more than one, but whatever works best for you is the method that you should go for. Don't just take one person's opinion and just assume that it will work for you as well. Be open-minded. Okay, so number 5, study tip number 5 is practice multiple choice questions and track your progress. One thing I really did this time around was I practiced multiple choice questions after reading a certain subunit or unit or chapter, and I would track, okay, on this date I did this section and I got this much, and it took me this much time, and each question took me maybe 40 seconds to complete. So I really broke it down to the point where you could see where the gaps are and what's missing. And whatever it is that I got wrong, I went back to the textbook and made a note on that information, and it would literally stick because I know that I cannot get this wrong again. But the things that you get right, you shouldn't really focus on because it means you understand them. Okay, and then study tip number 6 is book your exam date at least a week or 2 weeks before you're about to write, knowing that you are almost 80% complete with the study material. And it depends on others, but I feel personally for me, guys, life happens, and this is what happened to me, where I had booked dates for my exam and things happened, and now I was at a point where I was like, I don't want to lose money. So now you're forced to like just study because you're writing in a couple of weeks. So what I did this time around was I literally booked 3 days before my exam. I think I was writing on the 19th. I booked on the 16th of December. I finally had the courage. I booked on the 16th. Then I knew in the next 3 days, do or die, I'm going. And obviously around my work environment, I knew that we were closing on the 14th of December. There was nothing disturbing me. I was in a good space mentally. No funny surprises would probably happen, and I was comfortable with that. So what happens is you book a date a month in advance, and a lot of people say it works. I mean, because you're like, I'm writing in a month and you have pressure, but also the time you feel like a month is a lot. And also in a month, things can happen. You might get sick. God forbid, things can happen in the family that need your attention, that your mind. So it's kind of hard in terms of saving money and just being comfortable. At least spend a week or 2 weeks before, knowing that you're about to finish your content and you're ready to write. Okay, and then tip number 7 is on the last week, please only make sure that you're doing revision and you're just practicing questions. You cannot be learning new content a day before, 4 days before. It's too much. make sure that you've literally covered everything and you're literally just reading and reading. So when I was studying in the last week, I was so bored, guys, because I knew everything. I was like, what else? I just kept revising and revising to a point where I just literally relaxed. And that's what happened on the day of the exam, or day before. I wasn't even panicking. I was just so calm. And that goes to the next study tip, which is prayer, meditate. Ooh, I think there's something, guys. Prayer, meditation the day before your exam, a few days before. I spent the last week just literally praying. If you look at the video, I told you guys the song that I was meditating or praying to. I was just, I was just calm, calming my nerves, believing, working on your confidence. That's what you should be doing. You cannot be doing 100 questions a day before. You're gonna go in panic mode, okay? And then the last tip number 9, is on the day of the exam, avoid everything and anyone, like everything. Like, try to just also book a slot in the morning so that you get it over and done with. So make sure that you literally have your phone on silent. Don't go on social media. Don't, just literally wake up, get ready, go and write, done. Because what happens is you get so disturbed, and this affects your mental state because you get messages from people. Someone could be giving you bad news, someone could be stressing about something and they need your help. Those people can wait. Everything can wait until you're done writing. And then lastly, guys, a disclaimer is, personally what I feel is, avoid telling so many people that you're writing. And it might sound weird, but also, like, from a spiritual perspective and also just from a nerves perspective, you don't want 100 people knowing that you're writing, and there's now expectations like, oh, is she gonna make it? Is she not gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Just tell your circle, your mentor, your whoever is important at that point in time, who has been supporting you in that journey, and go and write. And then you can tell whoever it is that, hey, I wrote on this day and it went well. But just avoid telling so many people, because it's just a lot. It's too much. So I did that where very few people knew that I was writing, and I was okay with that. When I woke up in the morning, I had gotten like 3-4 messages from those people just wishing me the best and everything. When I was done, I was comfortable to now like share that I've been studying. This is the result and I'm happy. So guys, I hope these tips really helped a lot, and please be on the lookout for the video that I'll be talking on Wood Institute. For now, you're welcome to go follow them. You're also welcome to inquire with them to get any extra information, but I'll definitely be posting that video in the next coming week. And also, lastly, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now.